Good morning students, we'll start with the next topic, that is stomach cancer. So what is the stomach cancer? So stomach cancer, it is also called as gastric cancer. Okay, stomach cancer, it is also called as gastric cancer. It begins when cells in the stomach become abnormally and grow uncontrollably. Okay, so that is, it begins when the cells in the stomach grows abnormally and uncontrollably. Okay, when the cells in the stomach grows abnormally and uncontrollably. So these cells form a growth of tissue called a tumor. Okay, these cells forms a growth of tissue called a tumor. So that is stomach cancer. It is also called as gastric cancer. So it occurs when cells in the stomach grows abnormally and uncontrollably, and these cells form a growth of tissue called a tumor. Okay, these cells form a growth of tissue called a tumor. Cancer can begin in any part of the stomach. Okay, cancer can begin in any part of the stomach, and it can spread to nearby lymph nodes. Okay, it can spread to nearby lymph nodes and other areas of the body. Okay, cancer can occur in any part of the stomach, and it can affect the nearby lymph nodes and other parts of the body, such as liver, bone, lungs, and also ovaries. So that is usually about this thing. So most of the 85% of this gastric cancer are adenocarcinomas that occurs in the lining of the stomach. Okay, so most of this gastric cancer, it is adenocarcinomas that usually occurs the lining of the stomach, that is mucosa. Okay, it affects the mucosa of the stomach. So approximately 40% of the stomach cancer or gastric cancer develops in the lower part of the stomach, that is pylorus, and 40% develops in the middle part of the stomach, that is body, and 15% develops in the upper part of the stomach, that is cardia. In upper part of the stomach, that is cardia. So that is usually, so stomach cancer, it is usually also known as gastric cancer. So this usually it occurs when the cells in the stomach grows abnormally or uncontrollably. So this cells which is formed, it usually forms a tissue called tumor. So this is usually, so it can occur in any part of the stomach and also affects the other parts of the body as well as the lymph nodes. So that is usually, it affects like other parts in the body like liver, bone, ovaries, lungs. So that is usually that. And then, so most like about 85% of the cancer, okay, but 85% of the cancer, gastric cancer, is adenocarcinomas, which usually affects the lining of the stomach, that is mucosa. Okay, it affects the lining of the stomach, that is mucosa. And then about 40% of the cancer, it usually affects the lower part of the stomach, that is pylorus. About 40% it affects the middle part of the stomach, that is cardia. Middle part of the stomach, that is body. And remaining 15% like it affects the upper part of the stomach, that is cardia. So that is usually there. That is usually about this. So what are the risk factors for development of this cancer? So risk factors, it can be like obesity, infection with Helicobacter pylori. Okay, so infection with Helicobacter pylori, and then it can be due to when there is high consumption of food like salted food, seafood, or smoked food. Okay, salt food or smoked food like pickle, meat. So it is usually about this thing. Next, when they consume lots of red meat. Okay, when they are eating lots of red meat, so it is usually there. And next, smoking and alcohol abuse. Okay, in case of smoking and alcohol abuse, or if there is any previous stomach surgery. Okay, if there is any previous surgery to the stomach, such as removal of stomach tissue. Okay, in case of ulcer. Okay, so that is in previously if there is underwent any surgery, that is surgery in the stomach, that is a removal of stomach tissue. Okay, removal of stomach tissue, that is in case of ulcer. Then in case of hereditary. Okay, it can be hereditary, or if there is family history of stomach cancer. If there is family history of stomach cancer. And then in case of age. Okay, so it is usually seen that age about men have age like above 55 years. Okay, there will be risk of developing cancer like above 55 years, and then men are likely to develop more when compared to females. So then lack of physical activity. Okay, lack of physical activity. So that is usually about this risk factors for the development of stomach cancer. So what are the risk factors? Mainly it might be infection with Helicobacter pylori, or in case of consumption of red meat or consumption of smoked and salted food. Then age like above 55 years, And then gender, like women, like men are twice to more risk of developing this cancer compared to females. And then in case of obesity, or in case of completely use of alcohol and smoking, and then in case of there is any previous surgery to the stomach, and in case of family history of the stomach cancer, and then lack of physical activity. Okay, so this is usually about the risk factors for the stomach cancer. So that is usually about this thing. So next is manifestations. What are the clinical manifestations that we can see? So mainly there will be pain in the area, stomach area, difficulty in swallowing, nausea and vomiting will be there, weight loss will be there, feeling like bloated or fullness. Okay, for a small meal also they feel that they have been full. Okay, so that is usually there. Vomiting blood, so that is usually there. GI bleeding will be there, indigestion will be there, heartburn will be there, loss of appetite, diarrhea or constipation, and then iron deficiency anemia. So this iron deficiency anemia occurs because there will be GI bleeding, so this is usually they become anemic. So that is usually about this clinical manifestation of the stomach cancer. So the clinical manifestation: pain in the stomach area, nausea, vomiting, GI bleeding, vomiting, blood vomiting, then weight loss, loss of appetite, heartburn, indigestion, and then they will be having diarrhea and constipation, in iron deficiency anemia. So these are usually the symptoms that is usually associated with stomach cancer. So what are the diagnosis? Biopsy will be done, physical examination, medical history will be collected, and then chest x-rays will be done, CT scan will be done, ultrasound will be done. So that is usually about this thing. So that is medical history and physical examination, blood test will be done, biopsy will be done, and then ultrasound will be done, chest x-ray will be taken, CT scan will be done. So the management, so management is mainly done like chemotherapy and radiation therapy will be done. Chemotherapy is management, it is usually done is that they go with surgery, chemotherapy and radiation therapy. So chemotherapy, it is nothing but where they will be destroying the cancer cells. Okay, they will be destroying the cancer cells with the help of chemicals. Radiation therapy is also one of the cure for the cancer, where they will be taking, like they will be using this chemicals. Okay, they will be making use of this X-rays, gamma rays to kill the or destroy the cancer cells. You just think, like you just know about this because next year you will be detailedly studying about this oncology, like separately you will be studying in your third year. So just understand that chemotherapy is nothing but where they will be destroying the cancer cells by using chemical, and radiation therapy, it is nothing but where they use rays. Okay, where they use rays, radiations to destroy the cancer cells. So normally for all the cancer, like whichever the cancer, they go with chemotherapy. Management mainly includes chemotherapy, radiation therapy and surgery. So in case of the stomach cancer, so the surgery that they will be doing, it is that like they will go with gastrectomy, endoscopic mucosal resection. So endoscopic mucosal resection, it is done in the early stomach cancer. Okay, in the early stomach cancer where this tumor is small. Okay, where the tumor is small. So in this mainly what they do, endoscopic mucosal resection, they just remove the tumor. Okay, they just remove the tumor and the surrounding tissues. Okay, so in this they will mainly go with removing the tumor as well as the surrounding tissue. So next is gastrectomy. So in this surgery, the stomach will be, entire stomach will be removed, or a part of stomach will be removed. So that is the affected part will be removed, or the entire stomach will be removed. So that is usually that. And along with this gastrectomy, the surrounding lymph nodes also will be removed. The surrounding lymph nodes also will be removed. So that is usually about this gastrectomy. So next is chemotherapy. So chemotherapy, it is usually, I have told you that it is mainly they make use of chemicals to destroy the cancer cells. So the common medications that are chemical medications that they use in this chemotherapeutic agents are 5-fluorouracil and cisplatin. Okay, 5-fluorouracil and cisplatin. So next is radiation therapy. It is mainly they go with external radiation therapy to destroy the cancer cells. So that is usually about this thing. So in this like in this surgery they go with endoscopic mucosal resection, where tumor, like when the tumor is small and it is in the early stages, but the tumor is small, they just remove the tumor and the surrounding tissue. And in gastrectomy, either they go with total gastrectomy or partial gastrectomy. Total gastrectomy, only the like entire stomach will be removed, and partial gastrectomy, only the part will be removed. Along with this, lymph nodes also will be removed. Okay, along with this, lymph nodes also will be removed. So that is usually about this surgery, along with that chemotherapy and radiation therapy. So this is about the stomach cancer where it usually affects, where the cells in the stomach grows abnormally and uncontrollably. So next is colorectal cancer. So in case of this colorectal cancer, so this is the cancer which originates from colon or rectum. Okay, this is a cancer which originates with the colon or rectum. So that is usually called as colon cancer, large intestine, large bowel cancer, rectal cancer or colorectal cancer. Okay, so this cancer usually that originates in the colon or rectum. Okay, it usually originates in the colon or rectum. So this may be called as colon cancer, large bowel cancer or colorectal cancer or rectal cancer. So that is usually, so this is usually seen that same thing, cancerous growth will be seen in the colon, rectum and appendix. Okay, the cancerous growth will be seen in the colon, rectum and appendix. So this is often begins as polyp. Okay, this disease often begins as polyp, which is known as adenoma. Okay, so disease begins as polyp, which is known as adenoma. So this is abnormal growth in the tissues. Okay, this is usually an abnormal growth in the tissue. So what is that? Colorectal cancer. So this is usually the cancer which is occurring in the colon and rectum. So this is also called as colorectal cancer, rectal cancer, colon cancer and large bowel cancer. So this usually seen that the cancerous growth is seen in the colon as well as rectum. So this usually starts, this disease usually begins with the polyp, which is usually an adenoma. So that is, it is usually an abnormal growth of the tissue. So next, causes of this colorectal cancer. So causes, it is usually unknown, and the risk factors that they have identified in this colorectal cancer, it is age, which is commonly seen above 50 years. Okay, this is commonly seen above 50 years. And in case of diet, if they have consumed high fat diet, red meat or low dietary intake of fiber, okay, if they are taking low dietary intake of fiber, so that time they usually develop this colorectal cancer. And next, in case of family history, like if any of the family members, they have history of this polyps, okay, if they have this history of this polyp, then there might be risk of developing this colorectal cancer. So that is there. And next, if they are having history of any inflammatory bowel disease like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, obesity, or it might be due to virus, that is HPV, that is human papilloma virus. So that is also associated with this colorectal cancer. And next, in case of alcohol and smoking, okay, in case of alcohol and smoking. So that is usually about this risk factors and causes of this colorectal cancer. So causes, it might be like it is unknown. Risk factors, they have told that it might be due to age, that is above 50 years. Okay, it might be above 50 years. If there is any family history of this intestinal polyps, or if they are taking much of high fat diet, low fiber diet, as well as that is usually there. Next, obesity, alcohol and smoking, virus. Okay, normally HPV, that is human papilloma virus, is associated with this colorectal cancer. Okay, it is associated with this colorectal cancer. So that is usually about this. Or else, in case of like if there is a history of any inflammatory bowel disease such as ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. So next is clinical manifestation. Clinical manifestation, same thing, like they'll be having fatigue, weakness, shortness of breath will be there. Bowel habits will be changed. Okay, bowel habits will be changed. Diarrhea can be seen. Constipation will be there. Nausea and vomiting will be there. Rectal pain, abdominal pain will be there. Rectal pain will be there. Cramps develop, blotting will be there. Okay, cramps develop, blotting will be there. And along with that, they will be having other diseases like ulcerative colitis, diverticulitis, Crohn's disease, peptic ulcer disease. So all these are the things that is usually associated with this colorectal cancer. So what is that? Fatigue, weakness, abdominal pain, rectal pain, nausea, vomiting, change in the bowel habits, diarrhea, constipation, blood in the stool. Then they will be having ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, diverticulitis, as well as peptic ulcer disease. Okay, so these are the symptoms that is associated with this colorectal cancer. So what are the diagnosis? Medical history, physical examination, biopsy will be done, and also they will be having like sigmoidoscopy will be done. Colonoscopy also they will go. Okay, sigmoidoscopy, colonoscopy will be done. Other than that, CT scan will be done. Okay, other than that, CT scan will be done. So it is mainly history collection, physical examination, blood test, urine analysis will be done, sigmoidoscopy, colonoscopy, and then they will be having CT scan and biopsy. Okay, so this is the diagnostic evaluation that we go in case of colorectal cancer. So management, same thing, surgery, chemotherapy, radiation therapy. So So in case of surgery, they go with partial radical bowel resection. Okay, they go with radical bowel resection. This is also known as partial colectomy. Okay, this is also known as partial colectomy. So this is usually used in 80 to 90% of the people to cure this colorectal cancer. Okay, radical bowel resection. In this mainly they go with partial colectomy, and in this it is used about 80 to 90% of the cases. They go with this, treating with radical bowel resection. So in this usually what happen, like they go with like open surgery will be done or laparoscopic surgery will be done. Okay, either this will go with open surgery or laparoscopic surgery. So that is usually about this thing. So next is chemotherapy. Chemotherapy, they go with the drugs such as Folfox and then leucovorin, may be used to prevent this reoccurrence of this disease. So that is chemotherapy. Radiation therapy, it is mainly they go with external radiation therapy. Okay, they go with external radiation therapy. External radiation therapy in the sense where the rays will be passed externally. Okay, the rays will be passed externally. There is internal radiation therapy where the rays, which is then it will be like implanted under the skin. Okay, wherever the cancer is affected, so under that they will be implanting this external like radiation beam in the body. That is internal radiation therapy. And one more thing for this colorectal cancer is they go with immunotherapy. Okay, they go with immunotherapy. So where they usually treat this colorectal cancer with the help of BCG. Okay, they will treat this colorectal cancer immunologically by using BCG. So this is usually about this colorectal cancer. So management, they go with radical bowel resection where they go with removing this they go with performing partial colectomy. About 80 to 90% of the cases get cured with this partial colectomy, where they go with open surgery or laparoscopic surgery. So that is mainly they remove the effect in the open surgery. They remove the affected part and the healthy part will be reconnected. Okay, the healthy part will be reconnected. So that is usually that, and then that is usually about this thing. And laparoscopy, it is usually shorter duration. They will just go destroy the cancer cells. So next is chemotherapy. Radiation therapy, they go with external beam radiations. And next, immunotherapy is also used where they make use of this BCG to cure this colorectal cancer. So colorectal cancer, it is nothing but cancer of the rectum and colon region. This is also known as colon cancer, rectal cancer, colorectal cancer. So that is usually about this colorectal cancer. So next is liver cancer. So liver cancer, it is a cancer which is arising in the liver. Okay, it is also known as primary liver cancer. Okay, it is also known as primary liver cancer. So liver cancer, it is nothing but cancer that is affecting the liver. Okay, the cancer that is affecting the liver. So what are the risk factors for this liver cancer? Alcoholic, cirrhosis, hepatitis virus, and then biliary cirrhosis, obesity and diabetes. So in this liver cancer, it is nothing but the cancer which is affecting the liver. So what are the risk factors for this liver cancer? Obesity, diabetes, hepatitis virus, and then biliary cirrhosis and alcohol. So it is usually about the risk factors for this liver cancer. So what are the symptoms that you can see? Pain in the liver area, that is in the right upper abdomen. Then there will be swelling, lump will be seen, liver will be enlarged, weight loss will be there, malaise, loss of appetite, yellow skin, that is due to the presence of jaundice. Okay, they will start with the presence of developed jaundice. Okay, they will develop jaundice, nausea and vomiting will be there, fever, fluid retention, liver damage, steatorrhea, pruritus, splenomegaly will be there, as well as hepatic encephalopathy. Okay, as well as hepatic encephalopathy. So that is usually about this symptoms that is usually associated with liver cancer. So what are the symptoms that is associated with liver cancer? It is nothing but vomiting, nausea, pain, fever, steatorrhea will be there, pruritus will be there, splenomegaly will be there, hepatic encephalopathy will be there, fluid retention, liver damage, enlarged liver, weight loss. So what are the symptoms? Pain, nausea, vomiting, steatorrhea, pruritus, splenomegaly, hepatic encephalopathy, enlarged liver, and then they will be having liver damage, fluid retention, fever, and weight. So that is usually about this symptoms that is associated with liver cancer. So next is diagnosis. Diagnosis, same thing. Blood test will be done. Like blood test will be done. Ultrasound will be done. CT scan will be done. MRI will be done, and biopsy. So diagnostic, it is mainly history collection and physical examination. They go with blood test. Ultrasound will be done. CT scan will be done. MRI will be done, and biopsy. So next is management. So management, they go with surgery. So in this surgery, they go with like partial hepatectomy or removal of complete liver. Okay, so that is usually followed by liver transplantation. So surgery, they go with partial hepatectomy, that is removal of partially, they remove the affected part will be removed from the liver, or they go with complete hepatectomy and along with liver transplantation. Okay, along with liver transplantation. So that is usually about this thing. So this chemotherapy will be done and radiation therapy will be done. So in few cases immunotherapy is also done. Okay, in few cases immunotherapy is also done. So that is surgery, they go with partial hepatectomy or complete hepatectomy, radiation therapy and chemotherapy. In few cases they go with immunotherapy. So liver cancer, so we will be dealing with liver cancer. So what is this liver cancer? So liver cancer is nothing but the cancer which affects the liver. So it might be caused due to alcohol, cirrhosis. It might be due to alcohol, cirrhosis, or it might be due to like it might be due to any virus infection, that is hepatitis. It can be due to biliary cirrhosis. So that is usually the causes of this liver cancer. Symptoms, it is already seen that the liver will be enlarged, hepatic encephalopathy will be there, splenomegaly can be there, steatorrhea, pruritus, malaise will be there, vomiting and nausea will be there. So that is usually the symptoms that is usually associated with liver cancer. So that is usually about this liver cancer.